You never know what you're going to tune into for a basketball game with the Denver Nuggets sometimes. Sometimes you think you know. Sometimes I think I know, but we don't actually know. And
I
there's no
know.
oh wait, somebody knows. We're going to talk about it next here as the Nuggets own the Sixers on Locked On Nuggets.
You are Locked On Nuggets, your daily Denver Nuggets podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome into Locked On Nuggets, your daily Denver Nuggets podcast, parts of the Locked On Network, your team every day. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. Being an everydayer, we're hanging out in the Discord tonight, having a good time. I made sure lots of fun interactions, lots of fun things in the Discord. I see we've got some comments going across the screen here as Matt seems to be pulling receipts, and rightfully so, as the Denver Nuggets take down the Philadelphia 76ers in overtime, 125-124 in an absolute barn burner. There were 9 total points scored in overtime as these teams ran out of gas. The Nuggets held on for dear life, and it was a defensive stop, a tip by Spencer Jones, and a run out by Bruce Brown that ultimately got the job done in the clutch as Denver gets the ball to the rack and Joel Embiid commits a goaltending violation. The Nuggets get the job done in overtime in what was by far the best win of the season. Before we get into that, today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. My name is Ryan Blackburn, host here at Locked On Nuggets, also over at Mile High Sports and the Pickaxe and Roll podcast. He is Matt Moore at HP Basketball. Just got done with the Buckets stream on Action Network. Make sure to go check that out on YouTube and wherever you get podcasts, as well as the Denver Dig, Hardwood Paroxysm, and everywhere you can find Matt's content. I mean, I just kind of want to let you cook, my guy. I just kind of want. We had a long discussion on last night's show. We went for 50 minutes and had a lot of different conversations and a very negative chat. I want you to cook. I'm here for you to tell the people why the Nuggets got this done.
Look, I mean, I said, somebody commented, like, I said that we were going to talk long about the game. Like, I didn't expect them to win this game. I didn't log it because I'm an idiot. I did bet on them. I bet
nice
money line.
My brother and I were live betting, trying to figure out, can we do Sixers minus 34.5 after the first quarter?
So this is where I want to take it. Okay. Because like there's the stuff we talked about last night, but this is the big thing. These are the best players in the world. And when you are at the arena every single night and you see the work that goes into the training staff getting them ready, their practice habits, the weight room, them working out before a game, then playing in a game, then getting off and oftentimes going and working out after. You see the recovery, you see the pain, you see the discomfort that they're in, but you also get to see like how fast, how strong, how skilled these guys are, even when they're just doing their pregame warm-ups. These are the best players in the world. And when you take out seven of them, these are still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of the best players in the world, because they made it to this level. They made it because of their skill. They made it because of their work ethic. They made it because of their effort. A lot of these guys did not get drafted and just are there because the team has sunk resources into them. They've had to scrape and claw and fight to stay in the league. Some of them were just given multi-year, second round contracts by a certain GM who looks great tonight, but we should remember they're all guaranteed contracts. But the bigger thing here is just like, you and I disrespected them by not giving them a chance, because I'm going to talk about probability, but in this instance, from the time that ball went into the air until the end of it, that team played together. They played with heart. They played with fight. They played a great game of basketball. And it doesn't matter what you're up against. It doesn't matter how much better the other guys are. It doesn't matter the top 100 ratings. It does not matter. Because if you play better and you play together, you can win this game. There were a lot of reasons why the Nuggets were able to find this win. But they found the win 2-2 without Nikola Jokic. Unfreaking believable, Ryan Blackburn.
It sounds really good when you say it that way too. Like in the 4 games that the Nuggets have played, they've gone through the ups and downs, the highs and lows, the emotional withdrawal, the emotional like euphoria of being able to get this success. And it was just an unbelievable night from Denver. And like you said, from the opening tip, Denver got out to a lead. They won the first quarter. Like Jalen Pickett was absolutely cooking from the jump. Peyton Watson was getting downhill and doing a lot of great things. Bruce Brown making plays. Like these guys were together and didn't care that they were without a whole bunch of other starters. It was an opportunity as much of anything as possible. Like this is a time where Zeke Nnaji knows, hey, I can cook here. And Zeke Nnaji was cooking.
Hey, man, like I commented this week because I just can't believe that he's still got so many years left on his contract with the player option.
Yeah.
My bad. I mean, that play he had where he finished the tough, I think it was first half, where he finished that tough spinning reverse layup.
It was like in the third quarter or fourth quarter. Like he was cooking.
Just 21 points, 7 of 11, 8 boards.
Yeah.
8 rebounds.
Yeah. And battling Embiid.
2 blocks. Gave 2 fouls. I mean, unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. Jalen Pickett, man.
I mean, this is the Jalen Pickett game. I will remember this as the Jalen Pickett game for sure, where like you never know who's going to step up in these moments. You never know who's going to be the story, and the Nuggets needed somebody who could handle the responsibility, who could handle the basketball.
I called him Tyson Hunter last night, and he dunked on my face with 14 points, 4 of 7, 2 of 4 from 3.
Oh man. Like the and one, like 2 separate and ones in the fourth quarter for 7 points. Like one of them from behind the arc. It was, I mean, like you said, and it's a really good point. These guys are NBA players. Yes. They're all NBA players. And if you don't give full-time efforts, then you are liable to lose to other NBA players. And that's what happened to the Sixers tonight. The Nuggets caught them, absolutely caught them. They did not. And you noted this earlier in the game. Sometimes you're not going to be able to game plan for what the Nuggets are going to be. You don't know. You're not fully aware of the game plan discipline for Jalen Pickett, for Peyton Watson, for Zeke Nnaji, for how these guys want to play. And they played over their heads tonight, but they also like gave real efforts and executed really well. And they were hustling and they played the zone defense and just collapsed on Joel Embiid a lot of the time and were scrambling out of it. Very rarely gave up open shots because they were working so hard. And it's like, that's all you can ask for in these cases. You can't even ask for wins, but you can ask to play hard and just see what happens. And Denver put themselves in a position where they could steal one tonight.
Yeah. Let's talk about coming up. I want to talk about both the probability thing, and I also want to talk about the game plan thing, because I think it's really important here to kind of understand this through the context of it is fun to trash. It's fun to trash the Sixers for sure here. I can't believe Embiid lost this game.
Yeah.
But I will also like kind of say this is also why when you're like, how could Denver lose to that team? I want you to remember tonight. And we should talk about that coming up.
That's a very good point. Let's take a break. When we come back, we will talk about how Denver rose to the occasion and what they were able to accomplish here on Locked On Nuggets. All right, let's talk about FanDuel. Fridays already feel different this basketball season, and FanDuel is making them even better. Every Friday night before the games tip off, FanDuel gives fans a new way to kick off the weekend with NBA Happy Hour. NBA Happy Hour is your official pregame, a limited time window where special offers drop right inside the FanDuel app before the action starts. Fridays from 6 to 7:30 Eastern, become appointment viewing with NBA Happy Hour. You're going to get a thing that pops up, and an opportunity that pops up. FanDuel's going to give you boosts, bonuses, surprises. All you got to do is be logged in at that point, and they're going to give you a weekly special right before tip-off and make a move before the window closes. The timing is perfect, right before the games, right before the weekend starts. So before tip-off, check the FanDuel app and see what's dropping during NBA Happy Hour. Every Friday from 6 to 7:30 Eastern, a little basketball, a little action, and a whole lot of Friday energy. That's NBA Happy Hour only on FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. We are also brought to you today by Quo. New year, new systems. This is the time when a lot of us look at the messier parts of how we run our business and think there has to be a better way. And there is. Streamlining your communications is one of the quickest upgrades you can make. And that's why today's episode is brought to you by Quo, spelled Quo, the smarter way to run your business communications. Because when your team is reachable, organized, and communicating in one place, you're just working cleaner. And you're also creating more opportunities to connect with customers. I love how Quo makes everything simpler. Your whole team can call and text from one shared business number, so nothing ever gets missed. It works right from your phone or computer, and you can even keep your existing number. And Quo's smart AI tools are automatically logging calls, summarizing conversations, and highlighting next steps, so details never slip through the cracks. It's no surprise that Quo is the #1 rated business system on G2, trusted by more than 90,000 businesses. Make this the year where no opportunity and no customer slip away. Try Quo for free, plus 20% off your first 6 months when you go to quo.com/lockedonnba. That's quo.com/lockedonnba. Quo, no missed calls, no missed customers. We'll be right back on Locked On Nuggets. All right, we are back. Locked On Nuggets. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning into the show. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Would really, really appreciate it. Everydayer Club is firing on all cylinders. We've got a whole bunch of stuff that you're going to want to check out. Make sure to check it out, lockedonnuggets.supercast.com, to see all of the things that are offered. Okay, Matt, take the floor. Let's talk about what this Nuggets team was able to do and how, like, any given night, this thing can happen.
Yeah, so what I was trying to explain last night is, now I will take the victory lap. So like what I'm trying to explain last night is it's all probability. You don't have a 0% chance of winning the game every single night. Like, they're going to turn around and they're going to have guys healthy, and then they're going to lose a game that's going to drive you nuts again. It's probability. So yeah, the key thing to kind of remember and to keep in mind is just like, you are never as bad as you think you are in this league, and you're never as high. And the reason is that probability factor is that because of the game of basketball, you're only ever likely to do X, Y, or Z. Like, you're only likely to have X, Y, or Z happen. The Nuggets probably, if you play this game 100 times, the Nuggets probably only win 15 of them, but they win 15 of them. They don't win 0. They don't win 1. They win 15 of them. That's about like where I would have it, is they would win about 15 of these. And the 15 in 100 won. The 1.5 in 100 won, or 0.15. Like, that's great. That's great. That is awesome. And it's a win worth celebrating, and is a testament to Adelman and the coaching staff that they did tonight. It is a testament to those players for being ready. Those players could have been like completely terrified in this kind of spotlight. Like, this is a big, you're on national television. It's a freaking Peacock game. And they came out and they competed. And they just said, like, no, like, we're not going to just sit here and get ran over. And likewise, because it's the NBA regular season, the Sixers walked into this game where there's a lot of things happen in this environment. The other team is like, they're sitting everybody, man. All right, we can take it easy. Like,
yeah, it's impossible. Like, it's human nature. That's how it works. Yeah.
Take care of business and we'll be okay. But then you don't come out with that edge. If they had like been like, we're gonna press Jalen Pickett 90 feet, we're gonna play full court defense, and we're gonna like ski. But the other thing I mentioned is you do not have, you can't scout this Nuggets team because there's no tape on them.
Yeah.
There's nothing to anticipate. You don't know how these players would play in an actually competitive environment outside of Pickett and a little bit of Zeke. Most of these guys just, and Peyton, obviously, most of these guys, you're just like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know what to expect. But more importantly, you do not know how they're going to play together. Like, you have no idea how they're going to play together. So
and the surprise was that they played really well together. I thought that the way that they played off of each other, it was a really good give and go with Pickett, with Peyton Watson. Those guys, sometimes they ran two-man game. Most of the time, it ended up being Peyton Watson or Jalen Pickett running high pick and roll with Deron Holmes. And if that was the case, he would pop. If it was Zeke Nnaji, he would sometimes pop. He would sometimes roll to the basket. And they're just doing everything they can to try to get downhill. And Jalen Pickett and Peyton Watson lived in the paint tonight. They did a great job. Like, that was exactly the game plan that the Nuggets were hoping for, just against a team like the Sixers, where, yes, Joel Embiid can protect the rim, but he's not at his best. And he played a whole bunch of minutes tonight, so he's not going to go for all of these shots at the rim, and he's not going to protect it like crazy. And they're so small otherwise around that. So you just attack and you just keep going downhill and try to get fouls. And Peyton Watson got to the free throw line 10 times. Jalen Pickett navigated extremely well and kicked out to guys. And some of the shots that Bruce Brown hit, like, were as a result of paint touches for other people, like especially the key three that he hit late in the game. So it was an unbelievable performance. And I think, like, look, the other one is that, like, Jalen Pickett hitting 4 step back threes over Joel Embiid.
Sure.
That's it's probably not going to happen again, but it happened tonight. It happened tonight.
This is the thing. This is what's hilarious. The Nets hit 45% of their threes yesterday. They hit everything.
Yeah.
And the Nuggets didn't have it. The Nuggets hit everything tonight, and the Sixers didn't have it. And, like, that's regular season basketball.
Yeah.
And on the, like, because if you'd flip this, it would be like, oh yeah, the Nuggets, even shorthanded, were able to get the win. Like, they were without Jokic, but they got CB and Aaron back, and Jamal played well, and they got the win. And then, they got killed in the back-to-back. Oh, no big deal. Like, this is what's great about these. I did not think they were, I will say this, I did not think they were getting any of these wins. I didn't think they were getting the Raptors win. I didn't think they were getting this one.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that they were in range in that Cavs game. They could have been 3-1 without Yoke.
Yeah.
Like, it's unbelievable. And
so,
to do it
so
tonight,
far, like, out of the 4 games, they've played 3 50-50 games and walked away with 2 of them. Like, that's crazy. They go on the road. Here's my big takeaway here, Matt. You're probably going to hate this take, but the Eastern Conference ain't anything. It just is not anything right now. And I don't understand why, like, and maybe the Western Conference, I'd feel the same way about a lot of this, but I am so disappointed in the level of competition that this Eastern Conference has actually provided against this Nuggets team.
I mean, I just think the Sixers are pretty good.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
But, like, Ryan, like, if you're a Bulls fan, are you gonna? If a Bulls fan said, like, Western Conference ain't nothing, we beat the Nuggets, what would you say to that?
I'd be like, yeah, we don't care about you is really the perspective. And the Sixers, well, surely the Sixers don't care about the Nuggets at all, Matt. That's
I mean, honestly, I think they're kind of moving on. And, like, look, Joel had 32 and 10 tonight with +8. It was the Adam Bona minutes that really killed him there.
Yeah.
And the
Paul George minutes.
And and, like, well, yeah, and that's what sucks. Like, Paul's actually been having a pretty good season. I actually will disagree with you. I think the Pistons are a great team. I think the Celtics are a great team.
I think those teams have gone head and shoulders above the rest of the other.
And I'll tell you, in the Western Conference, once we get past the top 4, like OKC, Denver, Houston, San Antonio, Lakers.
I think if I were to have the Lakers or the Wolves in a series against any of those Eastern Conference teams outside of the top 2, I would take the Wolves and the Lakers for sure.
The Knicks?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad that you have a thing that you like to believe in. But, like, I think the Eastern Conference is bad. Like, it's obviously bad because of the amount of injuries that are out. But, I mean, look,
their 11 through 14 teams are 5-5 in their last 10 games. All of them.
By the way, those teams,
yeah,
didn't lose to the Hornets tonight by 23 points.
That's true. That's true. Hey, The OKC team lost to your Phoenix Suns and your Charlotte Hornets. It's crazy.
Yeah, by the way, the Nuggets are still only 5 back of OKC in the loss column after tonight.
They're not catching them, but it's cool.
No.
It's cool. It's great.
No, but like they're not getting away. They're 3 back. They're 2 back. They're still 2 back of San Antonio. They're 1 back of the Lakers. They're 1 up. They're 1 back of the Rockets in the loss column. Like, and look again, that Boston game when everybody's back, it might go great. It might go terrible. But, and I really do think this is what's tough because it's like you can look at this from a math perspective, which is like you could put any 5 guys on the floor. But it's also like, yeah, but those 5 guys didn't do it. The 5 guys the Nuggets put on the floor tonight at various times were the ones that did it.
They did it.
It was Spencer Jones making it. Spencer Jones does, like, you look at the box score, 10 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 1 block. Good. Did a lot of things.
Yeah.
But you watch him, and it's just like every single minute that Spencer's on the floor, he either makes a big play or he is at least like within range. He is attempting to make a big play.
Yeah.
There is no quit minute to minute. There is no give up second to second with Spencer Jones. And I just absolutely love that about him. Peyton probably hasn't gotten enough credit here with 24 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and 7 of 13 shooting tonight.
I would agree with that. I want to talk about Peyton in the third segment, but back on Spencer Jones, Cam actually popped in here before you hopped on. You were still on buckets. And he was like, he and I were both like opining about how awesome Spencer Jones was tonight. Yeah. Like on his stream, he replayed the tip that Spencer Jones had. It set up the break. It set up the entire play because he's battling, man. Like he just understands how to play and he understands how to win. And that's really cool. It's one of the things that I will really appreciate him. He has dealt with the physicality really well and even is like dishing it out to other people. It's been awesome to watch. Let's take another break. When we come back, we'll talk about Peyton Watson on the other side. And then I have a controversial question to ask Matt Moore about, was Calvin Booth right? We'll be right back here on Locked On Nuggets. All right. Folks, during basketball season, there's nothing like being in the building, and especially that one. Can you imagine if you were yelling at Sixers fans during that game? The energy, the crowd, that first big run, and then the last bucket that Bruce Brown had. I mean, I can't even imagine being in that Sixers arena tonight. I'd probably never mind. Fans want to be there for those moments, not stuck refreshing screens or guessing what tickets are really going to cost. And that's where Game Time comes in. The Game Time app gives fans the advantage back, making it incredibly easy to score amazing tickets fast, simple, and without the guesswork. Browsing the Game Time app is straightforward and intuitive. Finding tickets takes just a few taps. Seeing the view from your seat before buying, making choosing tickets easier. It makes it very easy and very confident. Features like zone deals help unlock the great seats at an even better value, whether it's an NBA game or another live event. Everything is right there in one place. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNBA. That's code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. Download the Game Time app today and get in on the action. We'll be right back on Locked On Nuggets. And we're back. Final segment of Locked On Nuggets. Thank you so much for tuning into the show. Matt, let's talk about Peyton Watson a little bit. He's had a string of games here, I think in between 20 and 25 points, each of the games without Nikola Jokic, and has amped up the production. It hasn't been perfect the entire time. Sometimes the efficiency hasn't been great. He had 6 turnovers tonight. Doesn't really matter. Like, he has brought it each of these games and really tried to deliver on what the Nuggets have needed most without so many of their starters. It's the scoring aspect, and he's got downhill and he played really well tonight.
Yeah, and I just think it's tough because I think Peyton is showing hey, talk about this. Sometimes I think you're playing for your team and you're playing for yourself, but you're also playing for your future in the league when you're in Peyton's spot. Yeah. The Nuggets made the decision not to extend him, and I don't think it was a bad decision. I think it was okay to evaluate, to be let's see. Because I still don't know who's going to come calling in restricted free agency, given what we saw last year. I think that there's a level of for Peyton to be able to say to the rest of the league, like, I was drafted to a team in contention, and I have contributed to a team that won a title, that has won 50 games consecutive seasons. I have grown, I have developed, I have earned more minutes. I am entering into my prime, and with the opportunities that other rookies get, this is what I would look like. This is who I can be. And he should do that because he's going to make so much more money than being a reliable role player. I will say that, like, I think it's very difficult for a player of Peyton's age to be a two-way guy, to know how to balance the offense, defense, energy. Because I think that we kind of see this is that when Peyton's loose and he's comfortable and he's able to play without fear of losing, of making a mistake that's going to cost the team in a high leverage situation, this is what he can look like.
Yeah.
And I think that we see him in times where he's trying to be a role player and he could be like a high impact defensive force, but then the offense struggles. Now, by the time that Peyton is like 27, he might figure out that balance where it's like he's just a great two-way wing, right? He's not a superstar. He's not an all-star, let's say. He's not an all-star, but he's not like a bit role player either. And that's what I think is like really interesting is like, is that more valuable than an excellent role player around Jokic? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily know if that's a binary choice either. But
it may not be.
But I just think it's like he deserves credit for believing in himself and like taking these opportunities and putting up the kind of performances that he has.
There's never been a problem with self-belief for him, and he has carried that with him throughout the entire time and deserves a lot of credit. We have a very special guest on the show, Matt. There's somebody who has decided he wanted to pop in and say his piece about Peyton Watson. Really good timing. Really good timing over there, big dog. How you doing?
Good. I had to put on my Peyton Watson drip. You know what I mean? Since we are both lovers of jewelry, I never pull this bad boy out. This is my timeless piece. I got my everyday wear that I wear right here. Okay. And then I have my only for special occasions diamond embedded drip that we wear. And shout out to Peyton Watson. You know what I mean?
Some bands there, man.
Great man. You know what I mean? Look, I don't spend a lot of money, but hey, I like to treat myself well, just like Peyton Watson does. And shout out,
Brian. I'm not making Peyton Watson drip money. What did we do wrong? What happened here?
Trust me, man. If you know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody, you can also have NBA drip. But look, this is what I want to say.
So we got to check on those diamonds with that diamond.
I do. There is a diamond tester in here, by the way. So these are. I will say, Matt, brother, I think we just got to give up the ship, man. Peyton Watson is on his way to being a star. I don't know what that star means. I'm not saying all-star, PG, and all that, whatever. But Matt, we have deliberations all the time in our chat. I just think he's the best player out of the draft class that they got that year in 2023. But I feel like I've been here, that potentially this could always be it. 22, yeah, that's right. 22, they won the title draft. 23 was Julian Strother, who didn't get a lot of tick today, but had some good moments today. I do think that we're kind of running a course now, Matt. If you look at his starter minutes this year and the numbers he has as a starter this year, now without Jokic, he has some self-creation ability. The game-winning shot, or one of them that they made, the baseline, the drive that he had to kick out to Zeke Nnaji, I mean, that was Peyton Watson creating contact. The broadcast where they were just infatuated with the fact that they couldn't stay in front of Peyton Watson at all the whole game. He had 10 free throws in this game.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
He was getting downhill. There was nobody that could stay in front of him. And he actually sought out Joel Embiid on one of those switches and just
nice little floater over him.
Threw the floater up over him, and there was nothing that Embiid could do about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the timeline's changed on Peyton Watson, I think, this year. And he's certainly at 15 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists as a starter this year. And that is he's shooting 50.
Sounds like Christian Brown numbers to me.
Yeah, but self-created buckets, though, a lot of these are. The numbers on self-creation are much different between the two.
Mom and dad are fighting.
He's not, but he's a Peyton Watson guy.
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to go with you that Peyton's better than Christian.
No, I mean, here's the thing. Like, the numbers have been just the same. Like, they have been just the same, and it's important. And I do think that, and we talked about this before, like, I do think it's important for Christian to, like, he's got to find himself again. And they're like, the way that Peyton has played, it shouldn't just be, hey, Peyton, you are back to the bench and you are going to go back to being a 12% usage guy, like in 20 minutes.
My only thing with all this is just like, these are interesting questions if they were rebuilding and trying to choose between various players who were really good. The only thing that matters is what maximizes Nikola. Now, you can think that having a player that can self-create, that's why we were talking about this, about how I think Peyton's not able to be the elite level defender, I think, when he's having this level of creation because of the energy that the offense takes. And like, you're not going to want Peyton freelancing offensively with Yoke on the floor, right?
Not a lot. I do
think though that there is something to, it's more important, I think, for them to have a secondary ball handler on the floor at all times with Jamal and Jokic.
I agree, but I don't know that Peyton is like that. Like, if they're
not yet, he's young. Yeah, he's still young.
If they're blitzing aggressively, you're not going to feel good. And you're right that he's young, but they're trying to win right now.
Well, right? I think Cam offers that. I think the problem is I don't have evidence that Christian Brown is good enough as a ball handler to offset some of those things. But I really want to come up here, Matt, because I wasn't listening to the show because, you can see, I'm 2 hours ahead of you all. So, forgive me for having to take care of some other business at the crack of the evening.
Hey, you can't say that on here.
Spencer Jones, Matt, that last contest he had on Embiid for the tip out, sir.
Yeah.
How physical him and Zeke Nnaji were on the inside. I think that changed the game today.
That dude is fearless. Like, he is a rare player that plays both fearless and smart. And that combo is very rare. And he will miss some layups because his burst ability isn't as good as you would want it to be, but he makes up for it with every little thing that he does. There have been, when you go back and you watch, there are so many possessions where it's like, it would have been an absolutely ridiculously easy score, if not for Spencer making a decision to make an extra rotation, to help down, to recover, to make the extra closeout, to dive on the floor. Like, he does all of the things that help you win. Those are my favorite type of players.
Yeah.
Like, those are my favorite type of players, because I'm not comparing him. Like, I think Peyton's been great, but I'm just going to say, like, I can find guys to get 24. It's the best basketball league in the world. It's very difficult, but those guys are out there. Finding guys that are willing to be like, no, I'm good, I will play.
You need both of them, though. I think they don't win this game without Peyton doing his job, and they don't win without Spencer Jones doing his job today.
To me, that is the key, is you need all of them. And I don't know what Denver's going to do at the trade deadline. What they need to do is find a way to convert Spencer Jones and make him an option for them in the playoffs. That's priority numero uno for the Nuggets heading into the trade deadline. I do not care about luxury tax aprons and salary cap and things of that nature. That is the key, as you have Nikola Jokic in his prime. Like, make sure you have a good enough roster that you can.
Do you, at this point, for you, Matt, I guess as you're looking at the economics of the situation, I think Peyton is probably among the Anthony Black, the Keontae George, the Cam Spencer, but not Cam Spencer's not in that level. I think he has made the biggest improvement from his overall league value among that kind of class. Like, he's taken a significant jump, I think, in his value and how he's perceived. 6'7" wings that are like known as like defensive players that are also like offensive creators like that. You don't find a lot of, and I think a lot of people buy into potential. I do think there's a world that if they can find, like, I think to a world to flip Peyton for, either the money thing with Zeke to attach him, or for a roster spot plus another good player with Spencer, with Hunter Tyson. I think there's a very real world where that could happen.
I think that's the best outcome, and it's not necessarily based off of like just what's best for the Nuggets. I don't think the Nuggets are better without Peyton Watson. I think that they can be roughly equal and have more answers. I always like, you know me, I like have as many answers as possible in the playoffs. Oh, they're going to blitz Jamal. Well, we added a second point guard, so no good. Oh, JV's banged up. Well, good thing we went out and got this extra center that's got rim protection ability, right? But the other part of this is just like, look, I think the games like this are evident that like Peyton has this potential and deserves to go kind of explore it. And I don't think he's ever going to get that kind of opportunity in Denver. I just don't think he's ever going to. Jamal's not going anywhere. Yoke's not going anywhere. You're never going to trade Jamal Murray to give Peyton Watson the ball more. You're never going to, like, even if you're like, oh, well, we could maybe with Aaron Gordon because he's going to expire when he turns 31.
Well, I mean, I was just going to say, like, there is
an
not
power forward, but he is definitively not
at
power
all.
forward. We know that.
Okay, well, you can move Spencer Jones over to power forward or Cam Johnson over to power forward, and like you're playing both of those guys at the same.
So look, you can trade out Cam Johnson to make Hurricane very happy, and dump him, and then put Spencer at 4. But I also think like you want to. I don't know that you want to overreact to these 30+ games.
But man, I do think there's something to. I think for the audience too, I would like you to maybe grasp some straws, like stop grasping straws a little bit, because I do think this is important, Matt. They have an elite on-ball creation, playmaking, scoring point guard in Jamal Murray. They have a very good defensive two-way guard in Christian Brown. They have the tweener, wing, drop ball, dribbler, shooter, off-ball player, Cam Johnson. They got Aaron Gordon, Mr. Jack of all trades, do it all, best player in the world. Then you got Peyton, who is growing into an offensive like plus in so many different ways, whether it's off-ball shooting in the corner at the three-point line, or even just like being able to create at times, and then the defensive stuff that he does. He still adds value. I know, Matt, you don't love his defense. He had 3 stocks today, and including the game-saving block on BJ Edgecombe. He had 3 stocks.
And he was guarding Embiid for a lot of it.
Yeah, he had 3 stocks this game, switched out on Embiid, and he had the block on Edgecombe. Like, that helped save the game, that allowed for Spencer Jones to get the tip out. So, like, I think the issue is, like, it's not perfect, but he clearly has defensive value on this roster and showed it even in tonight's game.
My thing is not that he doesn't have defensive value. My thing is that he doesn't have defensive value and offensive value at the same time.
But I think he's not a pure stopper, though. I think Christian is closer to being a pure stopper than Peyton Watson is. But I think that's where you have to, like, that's where the question for me is.
Yikes, because Peyton's still better than Christian defensively.
Yeah, Christian's got to amp it up on both ends.
Christian's good versus guards. It's just he doesn't, like, the side-to-side stuff I think Christian is special at, but he doesn't have the some of the other things that you're looking for. But I think this is, for me, like, I think Spencer Jones is a guy. Jalen Pickett at this point, I think they got to let him rock. I think, for me, this was a statement game for Jalen, Matt. I said on my show earlier, I think this is the game that, like, they look forward for the rest of the year. He has time to play. He's playing the rest of the season. But I also think for Jalen, going into next summer, they're going to look back at this game and be like, we believe Jalen can be our guy. Because if he can grow into this, he's so much better than he was 2 years ago. He was already making improvements last year. But tonight, for me, was really, truly like a momentum game where he took over the game in ways that are very unique to Jalen and was very responsible with the basketball, made a ton of really great point guard decisions as a scorer. And defensively, it also does matter to have a 6'2" guard that's that stout and that disciplined. I think that all matters. So I think this team, man, like, I think they have a lot. Shout out Hunter Tyson, has some really good minutes today as well.
Wild.
This team just has a lot of really good players. I just think the problem is, Matt, can they find a way? And they did. The first 15 games here, they were 12-3. I think they found a way for everybody to be involved in it.
Yeah.
I think there's a world where they can still get everybody involved in the process. It's just a matter of, like, can we get them all on the court at the same time?
It's a lot, honestly. Ryan, you should ask the question, though.
What's the question?
Would you leave the break?
Yeah. Swipa, was Calvin Booth right about all this? Like, no, he wasn't right. So
process was horrible. I
think Pickett going off and everything.
Process was disgustingly horrible. I just think that, like, being right about, like, I think these guys could be good, and then to the point of, like, I don't know if you watched the Elway documentary, Matt Moore. I'm sure that brought up a lot of old nasty times for you. But something John Elway said about the 2018 draft, Matt, the reason why Josh Allen is not destroying the Chiefs every year, twice a year, is because he said, I didn't want to overrule my staff. If I didn't have complete buy-in from the coaches and the rest of the people on the front office, then I'm not going to draft Josh Allen. I think Calvin Booth was the opposite. I'm going to overrule everyone and not talk to you and not communicate and not help you get what you need to do. So I think the issue was, Matt, you talked about this before. Hey, you can be right about these guys can be good, but what you can't be wrong about is like navigating the relationships and basically saying you don't need veterans because my guys are just going to be able to fill all the jobs.
Well, and so this is why I'm always yelling and preaching about the month by month thing where players have good and bad months. Peyton's going to have a stretch where he's not playing great basketball again. Like he is. He's going to have, like, when they get back to full strength, it's going to be tough for him because he doesn't have the opportunity. He can't get loose. He can't make mistakes.
Yeah.
Like, he knows that. He's got to play tight.
You can always bring back in Cam Johnson or Aaron Gordon.
And it's not even that. Like, I do think it's more than that, Ryan. It's not just a self-preservation thing. I think it's part of it. But with MPJ, it was always that. With Peyton, I think it is like, look, man, like I can't be, I can do whatever in these games without Jokic. We got to find a way to win. But with Jokic, like we know the way to win. We know how we got to play. Like I got to play tight. We got to play serious. Like this is serious, right? Tonight was not a serious game. They took it very seriously together and won that game together, and it was awesome. But like it's just different when you get to that kind of a level. With Booth, I think the biggest thing is like you want the option to be like, hey, the kid's going through some struggles. He's not shooting well. So I'm going to play the vet. Jokic knows that he knows where he's going to be. It's going to put less stress on Jokic. Tim Hardaway Jr. can rise up and fire, and he'll just shoot, and he knows where to be. It's giving the coach those options. And Booth was so dead set on, you're going to prove me right, or I'm going to sink you. I'm going to make you prove me right. That he limited the options and left Malone with no alternative. Where it was, and Malone, on the other hand, is like, if you're going to submarine my job, this is where Mo deserves, I think, a lot of the blame, is because Mo turned around then, and Mo was like, if you're going to try and submarine me, I'm going to submarine you by submarining your guys. And you can't do that. Those players get to play for a limited amount of time, and they need to feel like they can do what Zeke Nnaji did tonight, what Jalen Pickett did tonight, what Hunter Tyson did tonight. They need to feel empowered. They need to feel brought up. They need to feel respected, and they need to feel like they're not a pawn in a game between you and the GM. And that's where Mo took on the blame, but Calvin put him in that position in the first place. It's a chicken and the egg problem.
It's horribly tough. And like this Nuggets group has proven that you play free. You have a lot of guys that are capable of doing a lot of different things. And Denver's been in a very disadvantageous position over the course of these last couple of weeks because they haven't had a couple centers. And I do want to point out that Zeke Nnaji did all of this at center. It did not have to be because he was a power forward. It's just play hard. It's just play free. It is quite clearly.
Yeah, but so
put yourself into a position to shoot the basketball.
Just like last night when I was like, guys, things are not this bad. Like the Nuggets are fine. And like they, like it's probability. I'm going to come back the other way, which is like, just because they had this game tonight doesn't mean this is who these guys are.
Of course not. I don't think anybody believes
I just think that there still is something to. You just have they did this. So I want to give them credit. I feel like it's been so long since we've seen this team healthy on the floor together that we've kind of been able gotten away from what it was. Yeah. They started this season off.
Yeah.
Everybody's getting killed this year. Everyone's getting killed. Like you walk
wagon, man. Fully healthy. Fully healthy. This is the second best team in the NBA.
Second.
And they are close. They are close. They are closer to that other team than everybody else, except the Hornets, apparently.
Yeah, I just think, man, that it was really tough, like obviously going down that many bodies. But I do think when they get back healthy, it's going to be a nightmare. But I try to be open with y'all because I want to make sure I'm covering my own biases here. I value certain things in basketball more than others, and I think having players that do multiple things well or having the option to means a lot. So that's why when I watch Peyton, I'm just kind of like I struggle with Brown. Because I know what potential problems could be there.
Yeah,
I understand that, frankly. I get it. Totally.
Yeah, but here's my problem, Cam, is like, was Christian bad in the playoffs last year?
There are moments where he was debilitating, but there are moments he was really good as well.
I don't know, man. I don't think he's as much of a, and I don't, we'll see. We'll see what happens if it's in a playoff environment.
Remember the Clippers series, like when they went zone, with CB on the floor, and they basically contracted their paint because they just weren't worried. It was him and Russ, so it was both of them. But then the other one was, remember, Thunder were going underneath screens on CB. He made him pay in Game 7, but Murray was bad, and they were, injured and all that. I'm not blaming him, but
I think we got to put Peyton in that position and see how he responds to that stuff too.
But that's why they started the year off in preseason with Peyton as the ball handler, and they specifically had him attacking drop coverage as a shooter for the point of, if you get in this situation, you have to be ready. And I do think there's something to, they trust, and at least initially to start the year off, they had given Peyton more responsibility in doing that than they were giving Christian.
So I think here's the thing though, is you're right. Cause like in the comments, Shane says, I think P. Watt generally feels more versatile than Christian. That's absolutely true. He's a million times more versatile than Christian. Like some people thought he was gonna be like this great playmaker this year. I can't believe they thought that. But like, I think
played 12 games.
Ryan might prove true on that. But like the problem is, think about this Swipa. When Christian's bad, it's because he can't do anything. When Peyton's bad, it's because he's unsound and he makes mistakes. That's like the differential there.
Yeah.
And that does matter. And it matters.
What would you rather do? Would you rather? Yeah, but I think the thing is, I'm even watching Jokic this year with Peyton, like, and Peyton has talked about Jokic. To Peyton's credit, he's also talked about Jokic in like their kind of unique relationship to a degree as well. He hasn't seemed to express that Jokic is like, you know, what are you doing? You're an idiot, or like kind of thing like that. Like, I also think like Jokic is also not blind. Like, he's watching Peyton, like he's watching him play. I.e., when people in the chat were so pissed off at Jokic for throwing the ball right to the corner to Peyton Watson for the game winner, I think Jokic trusts Peyton to do his job. I think a lot of this is you do have to play with, like, for instance, that turnover that Peyton had on Paul George of all people, trying to, like, you know, bring the ball up the floor and, like, you know, do the headsy tween on PG. That would have pissed Jokic off a little bit, but that pissed me off.
It was bad.
Because that's Paul George. Paul, if anything Paul can do is play defense still. You just don't take that kind of a gamble. But the thing is, Peyton is getting so many reps to suck and be successful. By the time we get the game 82, Peyton's going to be a different player. I think that stuff matters.
Going through with this process, then I agree. But they are going to eventually get healthy. And that's why we were talking about this month is just going to be so interesting as the Nuggets kind of transition back into being healthier and getting their guys back and playing in a situation where, yeah, like Spencer Jones kind of still needs to play.
I want to see how far this goes here. Cam, do you want Christian's on poison pill, so he's not getting traded? You want Peyton starting over Christian?
I don't think I said this already. You tell me how you feel about this. I remember last year when AG came back, he came off the bench for, was it for Peyton?
8 to 10 games.
But who was it that was starting over him last year? Do you remember?
It was
in
Peyton.
His stead.
It was, but they also had Mike at the 4. Oh no, it was Russ because
Russ was starting.
Murray,
I remember AG was like, you know, I'm cool with it for now type thing, and then Matt was like, you got to follow the money, follow the, you know, it's AG. He's not gonna, and AG let it be known, I'm not gonna sit on this bench for forever. The difference is CB isn't as established as AG. He hasn't done as much as AG. But on top of that, I don't know if I can just hand over the position back to Christian once he's healthy, based on how Peyton has played. I think at some level, Matt, I think Peyton deserves to write, based on how locker rooms work, to finish this out to see what happens. That's just what I think personally.
If you're the front office, you can't allow it to happen.
Oh, that's a good.
John Wallace can't?
You can't, because you have to think long term. You have to curtail his value. You can't risk someone coming in with a 4-year 24.
Oh, I was going to think about it the other way, where you have to make sure that Christian's a $25 million per year player.
But Caruso is a $20 million player on the bench.
Yeah,
you can have value. Why not? You can still didn't do it.
Not that much value.
But Christian, that's your job. Like, I mean, that's the whole point. We do this with players all the time. It's your job. If Peyton goes to the bench, hey Peyton, it's your job to respond well, and then be like, why isn't that on Christian Brown?
But here's the other thing: is you're even talking about Christian. This is not even about that. This is about limiting Peyton's value. Because if you want to keep the best outcome for Denver is that you squeeze him in RFA.
Like Austin Reeves, can they get him at $12 million a year?
Austin can't, right? Because Austin
got 12 because they restricted his market.
Right.
I'm saying, could they do that? Or could you foresee a future they do that for the Peyton?
Yes. Look at what happened at RFAs last summer.
Yeah, they got nothing. Yeah.
No one's coming.
The PJ Washington contract all the time.
Like nobody. I may be wrong. I could be wrong on this.
Sure.
But I don't think that anybody's coming in the second apron CBA not even the Brooklyn Nets, if they swing out on everybody, not even the Brooklyn Nets are coming in and being like, screw it, Peyton's out there, let's offer him 440 more, 460. Not going to happen. So you start him though, and he builds up that value, and all of a sudden the team might be like, hey.
Can't they both play well?
Yeah, they can both play well. Christian can play well with the starters, and Peyton can play well off the bench.
That's not, but I don't know, man. I feel like, Matt, I think I
don't have an opinion. I don't have an opinion because somebody in the comments was like, you hate Peyton and love Christian. And like, that's hilarious given how much grief I've given Ryan for his Christian Brown agenda. Like, my honest answer is I'm kind of like, look, Peyton probably deserves to go somewhere else and spread his wings offensively. And Christian probably got more money than maybe he deserved, but it's also, you don't pay him for the 12 games he's played this year. You pay him for, you don't pay him. You have paid him for the next 5.
No, I hear you. I think some of this also too, for me, is just, I think I don't want to say people are babying Christian. It's not like babying, but it's like we're men and this is a sport and we have a job. And I think like, some of this is sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. I just because I hear what you're saying. Like, you should earn your minutes, right? Right. I mean, ideally, yeah.
Yeah. And like, this is where I get caught because I think in an idyllic world, or how fans think, I think you're absolutely right. It's just not the way that I know the NBA to work. It's just not what happens. There's so many times when it's like the guy on the bench is way better. Like, why is this guy not starting? And the answer is politics.
Yeah, Io is coming off the bench for Josh Giddey and them because of
Sure.
Io has been their second best player this year. I watched the Bulls, brother. Do you disagree with that? All right, I'm not doing this.
All right, we are.
Wait, no, we're not. We got 445 people in here. What we ending for?
We're already over, Blackburn.
Yeah, we're 10 minutes.
Nick Angstad's already coming for the neck tomorrow because we were doing back-to-back hour shows.
I have to write an article.
Oh, you're fine.
I know.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is it 111 where you are right now? Excuse me. I apologize.
Oh yeah. Win. JJ win.
Man, but I just, it really is like it was an incredible game, and this is like, and hearing the KD wins,
trade Jalen Pickett next.
Like, they were going nuts. They were going crazy outside, and just every single time, this is like such a great reminder that every single time that you write something where it's like, this guy's really bad, because like, he's gonna have more bad games, but it's just like, this is why I started off the show with Swipa, is like, these guys play in the best league in the world. They all work their way to get here. Like Hunter Tyson, Jalen Pickett, Zeke Nnaji, all of these guys, Spencer Jones, all of these guys, Curtis Jones, like, they all work their way to where, it took this string of injuries for them to be available, but it happened, and they got their opportunity and they took it. And not like, you can't take that away from them. And it just shows you like how good these players really are in this league.
Yeah, man, that was a special performance. Me watching Jalen Pickett do all those things, like as like a really like a point guard. That's like a true 20, 25, 26 point guard, step back threes, navigating pick and rolls. Like, it was just terrific basketball. I was so impressed with Zeke. I actually thought, Matt, personally, like beyond the plus minus stuff, I thought Zeke played well in a couple of games he's played this, in the last couple with Toronto, and then played versus the Cavaliers, especially the minutes, didn't say it in the plus minus or whatever, but I just think he's not horrible. Just, you got to just play within yourself and play hard and play with confidence and play with aggression. And he did that today.
Some of the shots that he hit were crazy. Like, I can't believe some of the shots that these guys were hitting tonight.
All right, take us home, Ryan Blackburn.
Okay. Folks, we've had a nice long show tonight, and we really appreciate everybody. Shout out to Swipa for hopping in and turning in the second half of the show into something really fun. We were having a great time before as well, Matt. But that was a fun show. And I very much appreciate getting to do the show with all three of us on here. it's always great. So I don't know, rambling now. Everybody,
thanks for joining us. Appreciate you guys being with us. We'll be back tomorrow night for No Jinx Tuesday at 10:30 Mountain Time. You can Swipa. You don't do a show tomorrow, Swipa. We got triple time in it. We'll see you tomorrow night for No Jinx on Tuesday. Then back at it as Nuggets continue 2-2 without Jokic. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you guys again next time on Locked On Nuggets. I will do it.